You're over.
Oh, my friend, of course I do. Let's see here if it pops up this
Yeah,
way.
you're good.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, it's going definitely happening, my friend. You should see it in your end for sure.
Oh yeah, I definitely see it. I'm actually sharing it to my now.
Which is always good. But while we go, oh, what's up? It's always nice to see if someone gives you a nice little thumbs up versus the angry face. No one wants an angry face, my friend. It's like, I haven't said anything yet. Does my face just anger you? I don't think I should be the face that should anger people. Unless you're, I don't know, your initials are JW and you're from STL. If you're from St. Louis and your initials are JW, then by all means, please get out. But not John William Cunningham. And of course, man, that's Mikey. That's Mikey. My favorite, though, is a Brainiac, Donatello, straight up. Always been my fave. But you know what? I'm down with all four. It's just the way it is, my friend. Who hates on the Ninja Turtles? And they're bringing it back. The fact that so my cousin's daughter Jayla, she's obsessed. She loves Leonardo. She loves TMNT. And the fact that that's happening and it's coming on back, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel young. Because let's be honest, I'm feeling old AF these days. Like these new cartoons, everything that's coming out. I don't know, man. I just feel so dated. But who am I even talking to, Killy? Like, you even understand. You're just sitting there you're just looking brain dead, my friend, sitting right there. Like, I have no ways to have any sort of way to identify with you. But I
Oh
feel
no,
you.
I was just sharing our live video stream here with the rest of the world.
Oh, fair
So
enough. And by the
I was
way,
definitely
congrats to my boy John Cunningham as well, because him and his wife, they're expecting their first child as well. I'm not sure exactly how
congrats.
far along you guys are. You may have to update. And by the way, if you hear these fur babies, you know what's up. They're everywhere. You know, I bet I could even have named this thing, but you know what? You just got to go with it. So anyways, so we're just hopping in a few fun little conversations these days, my friends. Normally we try to do it on the weekends, but let me just be straight up with you. Yesterday, I was feeling beat as hell. There's just like no way I was going to do it. Between like all sorts of fun family stuff, then we had like Samson's Unpacked went down in the afternoon, and reading the blogs and reading the blogs and reading the. I was just so over it. So when 9 o'clock or so came, dude, I was just done. Put a fork in me. Yes,
Man, I was
June
up
3rd.
until 3 in the morning.
That's a 3 in the morning.
3 in, yeah, I was up at 3 in the morning. I was also reading the blogs. I was doing some graphic design for the new biz logos and new biz. I'm right there with you. It's
Dude, exhausting.
downright exhausting.
Which is what my boy, by the way, John Cunningham's going to feel when your first child gets here. Remember those first 3-4 months. Exhaustion is an understatement, my friend. You're going to know what I'm talking about. Waking up in the middle of the night, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But anyway, so to go ahead and get in, because we can totally ramble straight up forever. So was it Saturday? I'm tripping now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was Saturday. Saturday was good old rest in peace. Let me pour out some of my sparkling Dasani water and then bless up. I don't even know which way the camera is. And straight up bless up. Good old Steve Jobs. It would have been his 63rd birthday, you all. His 63rd birthday, and the dude's not even here. And so I wonder, right? Like being in the industry that we're in, and then you see like all the love and hate that just in general people get and people put out there. Like straight up, do you think that the world, in a sense, like the technology industry is still chugging along very well without him, or do you think it like really misses him and it really needs him?
Say my opinion. He was a visionary at the time, but I mean, tech will still continue innovating, with or without him. Now, could he have come up with something else in the last, 5-10 years or so? Probably. Would he have continued even being part of Apple as soon as he hit? But needless to say, we're at the 10-year iPhone. I've got an iPhone 10. You've got an iPhone 10. Now we've got the S9 coming out. Whenever I was at Samsung, we were always talking about how our cameras are better. how our battery life is better, how we have expandable storage, all that jazz. But I mean, Steve Jobs, Apple, touchscreen, definitely the future of tech.
Yeah, no, but I'm just talking about even like the dude himself, like the persona, like that for some reason everybody, like, I don't know, puts this dude up on a halo. I don't know,
You're talking
right?
about
Like
like Bill Gates and stuff like that? Like, I mean, I
his
barely hear about Bill Gates
his
now.
persona. Well, but that's because you don't pay attention to like just people
I hear
doing
more about him
goodwill.
giving
Of
his
course, the
money
dude's
away.
because
That's
it's
what I hear more
goodwill,
about.
philanthropy,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's what he's into. That's
Yeah.
what he's doing. So I mean, that totally makes sense from there. But I don't know, like people just all sorts of doom and gloom, that sort of thing. Like I appreciate the impact that he certainly has left, but at the same time, I mean, you said it best, right? Like the whole industry in general, like it's going to move on. That's just the way it is. It's the way it goes. So people are going to move on without it. I think that he was definitely a good showman, right? Like that dude,
Yeah.
he knew how to put on a show, knew how to get people involved to want to see what they were going to put on. But at the same time, I mean, things are just so fast paced, and it's not just about them these days. Like you care about everything. Like what Google does affects the entire industry. What Facebook does affects the entire industry. What Samsung does, clearly,
Snapchat.
like as a leader, yeah. I mean, all these things, it really comes together. So it's not just like that voice, because back in that time frame, that era, sure, like he certainly had like heavyweight, no doubt, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
But these days, I mean, I don't want to say like if, let's say, Apple fully just fell off the face of the earth, like certainly some things, maybe a little dicey. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, things will keep going along. I think it's in one direction that it's certainly moving along and is in. I don't think that's necessarily going to change. You see what I'm saying? Like with or without him. The dude,
Yeah.
Tim Cook, I mean, he's a good leader, he's a strong dude. He speaks up. He does more than, no disrespect to Steve Jobs for those of you who like him, but I think Tim Cook does a lot more in a sense for the industry than he did. He takes a stance on
Uh,
certain things. Yeah, he takes a stance on rights. He certainly, fought the, like Apple versus the FBI, right? Took a very clear stance. He's very vocal. And his predecessor wasn't really vocal at all.
he's very business minded, and a lot of people, in the first, like if you go back to like the first years of Tim Cook, you would see like Apple's become more corporate. Like we're less about creativity, which Apple always was. Like, in Samsung commercials, you'd always have the people in line, see type the graphic designers and everything like that. Other people, everyday Joes, realtors, salesmen, they're carrying on iPads for, sales presentations. They're using, iMessage, using their Mac. They're fully encompassed in that environment. And, yeah, I mean, but no longer the creativity, like every graphic designer, every videographer has one of them. They also expanded it as well. So I think Tim Cook did a good job in that aspect. But as far as like innovation, I don't think Tim Cook has innovation
No, I mean,
for
honestly, I mean,
Apple.
what are you going to do? I mean, so, okay, let me throw something at you. So if you look at, let's say, like the Surface, right? Microsoft Surface.
Yeah.
To me, that's a BA computer. Like, it's badass. I would totally use it, definitely dig it. I kind of moved on just from the kind of crap era. No offense for anybody who likes Microsoft. They had a real crap era for a period of time. But I've certainly moved on from that. But at the same time, like it's undeniable. Like they fuse the two together the way that you would use it, right? Like you got your old traditional keypad, you got a touch screen. I'm kind of like whatever. It seems so gimmicky to me. Like maybe I'm just OCD that way, or somebody would say 30% uptight because like I don't want to turn around and touch my screen and get fingerprints everywhere. So I'm funny about it. But it's the fact that it has those abilities and the possibility is there. And they certainly have driven that not only that inspiration to the entire industry, but even that innovation as well. And even, and full disclaimer, like it's very obvious for those of you who really know me, because it's here on Facebook. I work for Samsung, but I mean, Samsung has really been driving innovation for quite some time. And so there seems to be periods of time. It's like, you only get lucky if you hit it once, you get like a good little strike, and then you're kind of silenced for a while. That's luck. If you've been doing it for several years and you seem to be up to bat and you hit a home run each and every time, that's when company's got some sort of skill. They can definitely drive innovation. That's what they do. And so the kind of bringing on back, I mean, again, to his persona, I don't know. Like, certainly he's missed. Again, no diss. I think he did a lot of good. But also look at some of the negativity about Steve
Right.
Jobs, right? I mean, the dude was not known to be a nice person to work with at all. And so I know somebody on the West Coast that didn't work with them, not even in the industry, but had to interact with them. I guess that's the way to say it. And she loathed the dude, did not like him whatsoever, refuses to use any Apple products because of just how she feels about the dude. So,
Right.
I mean, clearly he was definitely polarized to me. I wouldn't want to work with a jerk like that. I mean, honestly, I thought he was a jerk, right? If you look at like even some of his personal life, the things that he did, right? The way that he like, now being a father myself, I don't know how you ignore your child for all those years. And look, nobody's perfect, right? So I'm not going to throw any shade by any means because people mess up. Totally get it. But for everything that people glorify the dude in, there's also a lot of dark to the guy as well. And I don't know. I look at it today like, he certainly did his thing. He certainly was needed. I think he helped change the world for the better. But at the same time, I think, Cook and Friends, people are there, what the corporations are doing, what, Microsoft is doing with their strategy, what Facebook is doing, Google's going, Samsung's doing these days. I don't know. I think it's in a total different direction that I don't know how he would have played ball in. And I think the industry, honestly, is moving forward in a positive way. But that's just me. That's just how I feel about his
I mean, I'm
persona.
a huge fan of bigger screens. I don't know if
Hell no. What the dude was like hating big time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, let's be honest. Like, what, 2007? For those of you, like, at the time, like, I was a diehard Nokia fan. Do you hear me? Like, diehard Nokia. There was no other product
Windows
in the
Mango.
household. Nothing I would rather use more. Like, it was my favorite, my number one type of a brand. And I
Are you talking about like
used
the N?
no, not even that. I used it was called a Nokia. It wasn't even an N series. It was a Nokia 7710.
Oh, okay. So Symbian
Um,
still.
yeah, yeah. So, man, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, while we're on here, I'll let you maybe tell us about your first touchscreen phone experience with a stylus. Maybe I'll see if I can download it if I was really playing better.
Running Windows Mobile like 6.1. It had an actual style. I guess very.
The infrared mouse. Yeah,
Yeah.
people love that. Like I was in Miami recently, and we were like just going back of like how long we've been in the industry. And I mean, people like straight up loved that trackball.
Yeah. I remember there's a security flaw on that device. If you held the L button down, it would unlock the phone. Didn't matter who had it, just the
Just unlock
password
it.
on it. Hold the L button down, and it would unlock the device.
Oh, well, fair enough. Well, so
Yeah.
I'm actually setting up a new one now. I'm going to see here if I could add this picture so everybody can see it. So hang tight with me as I go through and pull it up. Just because I mean it's so interesting to me to have seen it back in this day. Like if you were to look at it now, you would just be like, okay, it seems clearly it was cool then, but it's definitely not cool now. But it was cool this day. Like it definitely had everything going for it. It's like what a 1.3 megapixel camera. People thought it was just fire at that time, but I mean it's just no longer the case, unfortunately.
I remember when those sidekicks came out. Everyone wanted one of those.
Oh, of course everyone was Sidekick. Sidekick was fire, my friend. Oh, here we
It
go.
was like you either were playing calculator games, playing Sidekick 2 games
Oh, for
in
sure.
class.
For sure. Well, look, I'm not going to go through and dig through it because I don't want to derail it any more than I have by all means. So next time we'll just have to have pictures like that set up in advance because it would make some sense. But at the same time, I like to keep the conversation just free flowing, see where it goes, and just keep it as real as possible. But since anyways, we talked about his persona, next up. So, of course, I'm super excited about the fact that the S9 was announced. That's right. Super excited about it. But I don't understand. Like, why does everybody hate? And this is not just like a Samsung thing, right? I mean, this is literally everything. It could be from cars, it could be from phones, just technology in general. For some reason, it seems like it's more. How do I say it? Like, it's just more extreme with phones. But if people don't change like the design and have a new look of some sort, people just lose their shit. Right? Like, it has to be a new look
Right.
each and every time. I'm like, what? What the hell are you even gonna do? I mean, have you
Yeah.
not seen, right, like the Samsung S8? Like, what are you going to move around? All right, just take a look at the front. What are you
Yeah.
going to move around? It is a big screen. Like, yeah, there's like, no, I mean, what do you do? Like, I don't know, move stuff around to just for the sake of moving it around. Like, at what point does it make sense to change something just for change's sake? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like people get so hung up.
Typing the bent screen too much for like 6 years.
Boy, look, there's no overhyping that screen. That
Has
screen,
a bent screen.
look, when that thing comes out, I'll be down. I have no knowledge.
I mean, shout out to Samsung that are going to have to deal with that out because call center galore. I can't get my phone unbent.
Well, no, I don't even know how you totally derailed the conversation from there. But like, no, I mean,
We're just talking about new design, man.
yeah, you can only go so far. Like, I mean, cost comes into consideration, right? Like, okay, cool, we can make something wild and crazy. I'm sure every company, to a degree, has, let's say, like leading technology they can put forward. But how much do you really want to pay for that? I mean, at some point, like that's got to break the bank. People are already kind of borderline now of the pricing of it. So again, I just don't understand why people feel like they have to have, maybe it's just something to justify that purchase or, some sort of cross between that and maybe people want to be seen with something new. So it kind of like it stands out, like clearly that's it. Like maybe colors help. That's the way to do it, right? So you're not going to have, let's say, just an outright new design.
The bros gold.
The bros gold. I'm telling you, man, bros gold's hot. I don't care what nobody says. You can say whatever you want. Mark my words, rose gold. If I had an option to it, I totally take it. I know like Best Buy made an option for a bit with one of the devices, but I already spent too much money for that year. Like I can only upgrade like once a year, and I got to rotate phones. I can't keep doing it. It's just way too expensive. You can write it off, sure, on your taxes. I mean, that's what I do. I just turn around. I mean, it's a work situation, but at the same time, man, like I don't got money to be dropping for phones over a G. It was one thing when they're like $200-$300, but I mean now this is not even gonna happen.
Free.
See, look, like Jeremy. Okay, so Jeremy brings out like a good point, right? So what you see here, Jeremy. He specifically talked about the S9 and exactly like that lilac. You're right, dude. It would stand out. Like that type of purple.
That's the color of the year, right?
What's that?
Isn't it the purple or something?
Hold on. That's a very good question, my friend. I really don't know what the color of the
color of the year. They're just trying to do the color of the year, man. They're trying to be hip.
Yeah.
And then I saw shout out to Matt Wilson sending me over some AR emojis. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, look, to me, those are awesome too, because like, look, people are hating it, and I'm just going to keep it straight up. I know I might even receive some hate from my crowd. Look, some people are hating when Apple released Animoji, but don't get it twisted. That's just fun. When you're sending text messages out, oh yeah, like, dude, I'm about to beat it up with AR emoji or whatever, it's being called these days, right? Like all that stuff. So I got to catch up with everything, but, straight up, cause it's another thing. Okay.
Well, the news says AR emoji.
There is. Why are you trying to creep on me? She's always creeping on me, right?
Yeah.
That's okay, because I creep on her like 24/7. She doesn't even know it sometimes. But yeah, it's like for me, like if you think about like every text, every conversation you have, how many texts you have to send before an emoji pops up, before a GIF pops up, right?
After you say, "Hey, what's up?"
Like, hey, Victoria, how many? In every text, like, don't include me because you know I'm biased. How many texts does it take before you use an emoji or a GIF?
I just add one at the end.
You just add one at the end?
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying, okay, like, but do you just send, like, you don't just say, like, your friend Heather and just say, hey. And that's the end of the text. Like, how many texts do you get? Are you saying, like, the end of the conversation?
No, like if I don't know.
You don't know?
Like if I say I love you, you don't say I love you with a heart.
Oh, okay. So she's like, yeah. So what she's saying, okay, I get it. So what she's saying is like, at the end of the message, she'll use an emoji. I mean, I'll use it throughout. If I can replace a word with it, I'm totally going to use it. I don't know. And it adds that type of value because people bitch all the time. Excuse me. They complain and say, oh, well, text messages doesn't have like, there's no context that's involved. Let's see. Live translation is definitely, oh, here we go. Well, I'll slap
no emotion involved. Yeah. I mean, I think
people complain all the time. Yeah, they say, oh, text isn't as good. And it's just like, anytime I hear that, I'm like, what century were you born in? Have you not gotten it? Yes, you can add contact to text. If I put it in all bold and all caps, right? People are very clear that somebody's yelling, right? Exactly. Like, why are you screaming? And people say that, like, why are you screaming? So, like, I don't buy that for 1 second. Like, look, emojis, these type of things, like, it really does add context to it. And it's just a way that we text and we talk and we chat in general. I mean, if you look, and I know we talked about this a little bit beforehand, but I mean, even look at what businesses are doing when they're, let's say, trying to converse with their customers or their clients. Like, everybody's using some form of text. It's just the way, it's just the world we live in. And so to say that you can't add context and whatnot to it is crazy. And I just like the fact that to use an emoji that's like truly personalized to you, that looks like you, is another fun way of doing it. It just adds a little bit of flair there. Because look, we've been doing text messages for several years now. The first text message I know for a fact I sent the year 2000, which was way earlier than many people I know. I feel like I'm dating myself. Like, I send a text and nobody would know what I'm talking about and call me like, how'd you do that? As a matter of fact, it was a time when there was a service, right? Like, you didn't have PowerTel in Dallas. Okay, so in the South, for those of you, I guess, who are willing to age yourself with me, there's a service called PowerTel. You literally, like, if I called somebody and they didn't answer, you had a voice option. Like, you could press one of the keys, right, to get an operator on the phone, say what you want, and if it was one of the 160 characters of a text message, they would text it to them. And people were tripping about, what is that? Like, I don't even know what you sent me. And that was like way back in the day. But anyway, I digress, my friend.
Yeah, I'm a little bit younger, so parents made sure it was like more like a walkie-talkie. Going like Virgin Mobile like black and white screen, like
A black and white screen? Did it even have
like
this?
just whatever it was, just
It was a green screen, right? Like,
green
everything was
screen, whatever.
green beforehand. Everything was green, right? Okay, so now we're just going down memory lane. Just bear with me. So, like, you would have the green screen in the day. And then I remember, like, when Nokia dropped like a blue backlight, it was fire. Straight up, like, you had to have it. You stood out if it was blue. And then, as a matter of fact, you have all those LEDs that you could put with the battery packs and put on the antennas and make them
And the
light up.
keys,
Ping pong
too.
messages on T-Mobile. Oh my, Jeremy, like, he's doing some throwbacks as well. Like, Jeremy, I don't even, okay, so Jeremy, by the way, just, since I work with this guy, Jeremy looks like he's fresh out of high school, but yet the dude, I'm sure, is maybe up there with, like, I'm 35. Honestly, I don't even know how old you are, Jeremy, but you definitely do not look your age. The fact that you're going back with ping pong, unless you're literally in front of your phone right now and looking that up, I don't even know where you came up with that. But yeah, that's threw me way back. Like, even before that, before ping pong, before T-zones, maybe I should stop banging on my table in here. You straight up just have text messages. As a matter of fact, I don't know if a lot of people knew this. Text messages way back in the day used to be limited. Like, you could use it, send them, receive them, all you wanted before the network providers, the operators realized that they can really make bank off that. Because it's kind of like a feature that nobody really used. 36? Damn. You do not look 36. I don't know what it is that you eat, my friend, but you do not look 36. So good for you on that front. Yeah, so he's what? He's either an 82 baby like me or 81.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in there, Jeremy. But yeah, man, it's like, you could do that
Then you
stuff all
got
day. No, go ahead.
I remember where text messaging started coming to AOL Instant Messenger. Like, you could start texting your friends.
Hell, AOL Instant Messenger.
AIM,
Dude.
yeah.
AOL, like, okay, like, that was back. So for those of you who, like, the first time, as a matter of fact, I can tell you the very first time I got on the internet. And I was like obsessed. I was hooked. Right? So you started with T-Mobile 2002. Oh, so we started kind of around the same time, my friend. I was at T-Mobile 2001, but 2014. Damn, you survived for a long time, my friend. I didn't survive that long. There was, okay, 1997, Duluth, Georgia. I remember one of my neighbors had AOL. And it was like, pretty much all you did was to get on to chat with people. And you knew how it was. Like, you had to go through like that dial-up sound. No child these days, no teenagers these days even know what the sound is, what I'm talking about. I'm afraid even try to make a sound for it. It's like that sounds like a wild turkey and some heavy air, but nonetheless, yeah, that's all I got to do. But it was like the worst sound, but at the same time, you were thankful for that sound because that means you were getting online, my friend. Your little AOL I don't know, yellow character that looks like he was going to cross the street, that little sign. When that thing came on and it was happening. It was going down. That was
Yep.
the DM of the time. And that was 97. When did it fall off? Like, I know recently kind of AOL just died anyway, but I'm trying to think of the time like it truly fall off. Like, when was that shift? I guess when it all went away.
MySpace and Facebook came. So
Well,
like
I
06,
don't know.
05?
I don't know. Like, was it before that? Because hold on, like, back up for a second. Okay, so you had yes AOL, but then you had what, Yahoo? Yahoo
MSN.
Messenger was hot. Yeah, you had
MS.
MSN Messenger. You would use those clients. What was that client? Not ECM, something like that, where you would like literally can kind of combine them all because you had like, was it
Oh, I used
Jagger?
Beehive.
You
That
used
was
Beehive.
one of Apple device.
Oh, well, I
It
was
was like that. It was
definitely
an iOS app.
I was definitely
It was
not.
like
Look,
Beehive.
I fought Apple to the bitter end. Do you hear me? I refused. I refused. Like, by the way, just a fun little fact. So since I was so diehard Nokia, the blue before my current blue, I had it was a Nokia N97, right? Which was like kind of their hybrid. So it was like Symbian S90. Holler at me if you know what I'm talking about. And this thing was a hybrid between, it had like all the S60 features, but like an S90 design, which means like you had a full QWERTY keyboard, touch layover, predictive text, when all that stuff was hot then. And I remember like it would get no updates. Like, I don't know, man, Nokia was hurting. Could we even get a closer view of Killian? I know, right? Like, it's just straight up his face. No, I think he means the opposite. No, he means the opposite.
Back.
Oh, Joe. See, by the way, Joe, you just hopped on now, but I threw a shout out to you at the beginning, my friend. I threw a shout out to you at the beginning for your feed forward, my friend. Yeah, it's like, straight up though, you were just straight up face. You were like Max Headroom or whatever his name was from the
Oh,
80s,
sorry.
before my time. Yeah, you just had to stutter a
I
few
was
times.
up
You totally
close
fit in.
and personal.
Yeah,
I
you
apologize.
were
Could you
very
smell
up
my
close.
breath?
It was like,
I did brush my
maybe
teeth.
a little
So.
too close, Joe. That's hilarious. But yeah, man, it's like, so I had that phone, and then one day, I don't know what it was, but like some app, something wouldn't work properly, and I was like, fuck, like they're not updating anything. Like, I know it's like, it's going downhill, right? Like the writing's on the wall. This is like, I don't know, when was the 3GS out? 2007 was the original, 2008 was the 3G, so 2009. Right. So yeah. So like at that point, like I left Nokia at that point. Still tried to hide it. Like, I was like that BlackBerry dude that's like holding on, like you bought 10 batteries, just not wanting anything to die, like whatsoever. And anyways, oh, here we go. A little more Raz over here. I'll put it up here. Um, Joe says, first time caller, long time listener. Appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you. And maybe you'll feel what I'm talking about, 'cause you've been in the industry for a while. And so I got upset and I was like, man, yeah, I think I'm just going to go. I'm just going to give in. I'm just going to try this damn iPhone, right? So I went with my boy Jared, who like razzed me the whole time because like I straight up never, do you hear me? Never wanted that damn phone. Got it. And you had like what, AT&T, a 14-day like return or exchange period at that
Yep.
time. So here's my 14 days, and literally like the 13th day, I was like, man, I just can't deal with this thing. Like, I hated it. Like the touch screen, I just didn't feel like the text, like I wanted a full QWERTY back, or even predictive text, T9 input, that far back. Like, give me anything, I loathed it. So returned it, and my friend was like, well, at least you tried, right? I know you're anti-Apple, but you tried. And so maybe a few days into it, I'm not sure exact time frame, but I do remember I was sitting on the couch. I was trying to install this app. It would not install properly, so I went through, hooked it up to the computer, got the sys file on board, and then like the screen resolution was like way off, and it just dawned on me, and I was like, you know what? Damn, yo, I missed that iPhone. I know, Monica, you know me. I hated that phone with a passion. Hated it. Nobody knows what my boy Eric does because eating words. I think there's two words I regret. I used the word hate for that phone because I hated it. And then I also did say that Nokia would never use Windows. And then when Microsoft bought Nokia, I don't know. That was embarrassment. That was just straight up embarrassment. I'm still sad about that.
Ooh.
Oh well. It's like when the dude, when one of Samsung's executives went to go work at Nokia. And so I haven't heard from this lady like Karen forever, right? Like I knew her when I used to work at these Nokia experience centers. And she's like, yeah. And she hit me up out of the blue. She's like, so I heard, I know, right? Victoria's like, oh my God, I love Joe. Of course, biased. But
I love Joe as well.
who doesn't love Joe? And Windows, yeah, Windows is big U, Monica. You feel me? I mean, it's I don't know, it's utterly ridiculous. And so hated it, hated it, hated it. Said they would never use it, and then when they turned around and bought them, and then made the Lumia phone, I don't know. I thought it was an abomination. Like I was truly upset, and I even tried to love it. Right? Like I don't know about you guys, but I was digging the tiles. Right? I thought it was like a kind of a
No,
weird
the live
combo.
files. I,
What's
I
that?
like that. I like the live
Yeah, yeah,
files.
yeah. Like it made
To
sense.
date, pushing through.
It
Yeah.
was always up to date, totally made sense, but I mean, they couldn't even catch on. And then when like, I don't know, Bank of America like dropped them, when Chase dropped them, I was like, yo,
Oh no.
it's really
Yeah.
rough for Microsoft
Well,
right now.
BlackBerry also had a tough because I remember BlackBerry sales guys would come in and you could sideload Android apps. It's like what? Like why? Like why are you having?
Yeah, nobody wants a silo. Like that was stuff you did back in like the mid 2000s, right? But like, I
Yeah, I
said
don't
like anything after that,
jailbreaks a phone
yeah, like
anymore or roots a
jailbreak
phone
is
anymore.
stupid. Yeah, when I hear people that are like, oh, I'm a jailbreak, I'm like, why don't you just get an Android and be done with it? Like, why would you?
Yeah.
Like that, I never understood. I was like, why would you? You know what you can do? I got an easier option for you. Go buy an Android device. Done.
Yep.
No more stupid jailbreak. Walk down memory lane. I know, I know. And look, since we're walking memory lane, since I have a few of you here, very few of you, why don't you throw me a little tip, something down memory lane that just kind of takes you on back, just to see if we identify with you? Because I know, like, I go way on back. And I mean, I even remember, like, so Sony Ericsson used to have like attachments for the camera back in the day, right? Like they had this weird, I don't know, 30 pin-ish adapter that like plug up their phone. And like
Yep.
that, literally that was a jam. Like if you had it, I think it was
The
a T,
Walkman.
no. It was like a T,
Before
either
that?
it was a T28, T68. Yeah. This is when the Zach Morris phones. Oh God, how embarrassing, right? I don't know. It was like cancer phones or something. Yeah, that thing right there. You do want to talk about power and battery life, though. Those things like last all damn day. The Zach Morris phone, Saved by the Bell. That also threw me back. That was a show I never really fully got into. It was a little, I don't know, not cultural enough for me. But at the same time, there's, I guess, a way that you could easily, guess, kind of relate. It's school. That's all I got. I tried, Monica. That was a very failed attempt. I didn't really vibe with that show, but everybody knows what the Zach Morris phone is. And then there was, oh, you know what? Here's another reference. When that movie, Charlie's Angels came out, and they had that teeny tiny, not like the Zoolander small phone, but it was a Nokia. It was an 8290, right? So like for those of you who may know, it was 8290 on GSM. It was 8260 on TDMA. That's right. I'm tripping, going way back. It was like literally the smallest phone ever. I mean, this thing was like, you could fit it. I don't even know where to even go with it. I mean, it's just, let's see, you only had to charge your phone like twice a week back then. And I got you going.
Yep.
Exactly. You did only have to charge your phone twice a week back then. That was the good old days. But at the same time, you could only charge it when it was going to die or it was near damn dying because it had was it nickel cadmium back in the day? It was memory based, so you totally had to do it that way. And let's see, Ryan here. I remember the first internet capable phone was sold. The Ericsson 280 on AT&T TDMA. Wow. Circa 2001. Oh,
Wow.
jeez, it's a long time ago. I remember when was it? It was GPRS, right? What
Yep.
General Packet Radio Service, followed by what was this predecessor? Or what was the one that replaced it? It was Edge, yeah, Enhanced Data over G something. Okay, now I'm really going back. Because you keep everything? Yes, because I do keep everything. Victoria knows. I have a stash here. I think of some of these phones we're even talking about. It's just like that ridiculous. Which, by the way, we'll probably have to end here, guys. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes because eventually I know my boy Killian has to get his beauty sleep. And then maybe I should
Yes.
too. I know I got to kind of get up early and get working. Let's see, Monica. I worked at AT&T.
Is this Best Buy, Monica?
No, this is Monica Sedbury. So like, she
Okay.
worked with LG for quite some time. LG, mad respect. Even though I don't know, I feel like the initials were rather. I don't know. LG, I was like, lame gadgets. I don't know. Is that shade? Don't give me hate right
Oh.
now. Don't give me hate. I respect LG. LG's good. But yeah, she said I worked at AT&T when we were changing people from CDMA to GSM. Wow, from CDMA to GSM. Yeah, I know. I think, yeah, TDMA from GSM, if I'm not mistaken, because they were definitely time division multiple access, and then there's code division multiple access. Now I'm tripping. All right, yeah, I'm glad. What's that?
Good old singular, man.
God, oh, singular. That orange splat. What was the dude's name? Jack or something like that? Yeah, it's Jack.
Oh,
I
I
think it
didn't
was.
even go that far.
Which makes sense because it looked like one of those little, whatever game is that I never played as a kid. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that was
Look
it.
like jacks. Thing of jacks, like the bouncy
something
ball
of that
with the
nature.
little
But there's like
jacks
the
on the
gateway
bottom.
phone. I don't know. That was an interesting time frame because like
Yeah,
everybody was getting the networks wrong, right? Like you had CDMA was
the
heavily.
Palm Pre, man.
Oh, the Palm Pre. You know, that was actually a
HP
sleeper.
in the
That was a
game.
sleeper. I had one. I've owned one for about a year. It's like my secondary phone. I actually really liked it. And even if you looked at the way that it did like multitasking and whatnot at its time, it was definitely way ahead, that's for sure. But never got the credit it deserved. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Joe's got a point here. LG was on fire in 2007 because they had the LG chocolate. That was fire. Everybody did have to.
Oh, on Verizon only, right?
It was, yeah. Well, I think it was Verizon only, and because you know they had it was like that weird era of when everyone had names for their phones. It's like you couldn't give it a model number, right? Like it had to have a specific name.
The Razor.
Hey, the Razor was hot. I hated that phone too, just because it looked so good. It wasn't a Nokia, but because
so
look,
good.
if it wasn't a Nokia, look, I'm not that guys. I was a hater. Yeah, the
Motorola
chocolate MP3
Rocker.
capability. Oh, the Rocker. Oh man, I don't know. The Rocker. What was that? It had iTunes built in.
It had their own proprietary
It
thing,
had
I
their
think.
own.
Or no, maybe it did
Sure?
have
I think it
iTunes.
was
Yeah,
iTunes. The Rocker had iTunes built in, and you know what? I'm just going to point the camera for a second. Motorola, that is your fault. See, you are the reason why the damn iPhone came out because they tried to make a phone from you. You effed it up, and look what we got. And I say that with bittersweetness in my voice. Exactly. Let's
and then
see.
Motorola has just been making accessory phones ever
Judy,
since.
stop. Hold on. So my mother-in-law, she said, we had a bag phone. Does that count? Yes, first off, that does count. Secondary, the bag phone was ridiculous. Like, I don't know. That's like carrying around a briefcase with you to make a call. Was it even worth it? What's the battery life on that thing? That'd be crazy. Victoria said, what, the chocolate? It was the only thing Jamie could play music on at the time, her sister. Yeah. Oh, the LG phone with a mirror screen, the Shine. I think it was called the Shine.
Yep.
Pretty sure that was it. Okay, so hold up. Now retract all the little shade that I threw at you, LG. Now I got to give you credit. LG was on fire for a period of time. I stand corrected. Caleb says, hi, Victoria. Oh, here we go. Joe says, the golden era of mobile before all phones looked the same was 2000, 2009. So much creativity in the industry. Straight up true. Like, that's true. Like, if you think about it, like, no damn phone looked the same. None of them did. Like, I think
Flip phone, a small.
the UIs were different, right? Even BlackBerry
The
with their
slide.
full screen, like, yeah, they had slide for, except for what was that abomination BlackBerry made? Hold on.
The Pro.
No. The one Verizon is the touchscreen one they made on Verizon. Not the Thunder. What was it? Somebody help me out. It was the BlackBerry
The
phone with their
Bolt?
first, what's that?
The Bolt?
No. It was their first try, their first crack to kind of make like an Android / iPhone on Verizon when they didn't have anything. And BlackBerry made it, and it was like the crappiest.
Are you talking about in recent times, like
BlackBerry.
the Q10?
No.
Oh.
This would have been like 2009 ish. I can't believe nobody can even think of it right now. I was hoping somebody would be able to help me out. I can't
BlackBerry trying to
It was a BlackBerry, not
together?
No. Listen to me carefully. It was a BlackBerry touch screen. So just imagine your
Okay.
modern day phone made by BlackBerry is a touch screen when they were still hot and relevant. On Verizon only, you'd probably have to look it up, and it totally just sucked. There's no better word for it. Like it was atrocious, and it was terrible. And I can't even give enough.
Trying to compete with like all the Motorola phones that were coming out.
Motorola phones, no, man. They were trying to compete with T-Mobile had the G1, right? The OG, the original gangster.
Yep.
Apple obviously was released a few iPhones. Nokia was still hot and relevant at the time, but this is when like they were both kind of grasping at straws to keep afloat. And the BlackBerry Storm, I think
Storm. Okay.
I think that's it.
Thunderbolt Storm. Got you.
Okay, I'm totally like deviating right now. I just have to look because I'm like 99% sure that's it. Like Page, I don't know. Let's see, BlackBerry Storm. Guys, like it was a horrible phone. Like if you ever use this phone, you will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm Googling it right now. I was hoping somebody would be able to help me because I got to go through screens. That was so it. That was the BlackBerry Storm. Guys, what a crap device. It was absolutely, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't like to throw shade or hate on nobody. Yeah, was it BlackBerry Torch? You said Torch. I'm pretty sure it was Storm. Like, go look at the Storm in a bit, Joe, and tell me, like, that was the one where they tried it. And it's like, it tried to give you haptic feedback when you pressed on it, which was kind of cool at the time because it's kind of what we do now, right? It was totally relevant, made sense. But it was like janky, the screen didn't have like, it wasn't even capacitive. It was when it was still resistive. It's just, I don't know, man. It was just terrible. It was just not a good experience. Like, I was excited about it, and I got one, and I was like, oh, this phone's terrible. I'm going to let it go. And I just returned it as quickly as I bought it. No
Like that
questions
iPhone.
asked. Dude, it had to go. Yeah, like the iPhone. And then I went and bought it again afterwards because then I realized my Nokia wasn't going to do it. I don't know, just a sadness to me. It brings a tear to
This
my
on a
eye.
high note, man.
All right.
The negativity.
So on a high note, I will say this, right? This could be a high note. But like, I hate for us to take it for granted because everything that we get to do, we get to experience now on our phones, to me is really awesome. In fact, now that really like everything's going mobile, I don't know, man, it's a beautiful thing. Like for those of you who, let's say you love your MacBooks, if you ever look at a Mac app,
Non-existent.
dude, it's non-existent. That thing's terrible. That thing is absolutely terrible. It's bad.
Software we're on right now is from the web, not on the Mac Store.
Yeah, you're not going to do it, because I don't know, they just suck at doing it there. But everything's going mobile first, like bottom line, right? So if you think, what we're doing now, Facebook Live, mobile first. Instagram, straight up mobile. You're not going to find like a web variant of it where you're going to be able to go to it. So it's like, why should even some of these developers waste their time doing it? Like everyone's just going mobile first. At the same time, like I still see some space there for desktops, but oh, look at this. All right, y'all. Great evening. Shout out to Victoria plus Knox for putting up with TV. Exactly. I know. That's why they both went to bed. They just couldn't take me anymore. But this will probably be a good time to bow on out anyway, because what we're going into, I don't even know like the time of this thing. Obviously, guys, I have no concept of time. Like I will stay here forever until my battery dies. This is really not far from there. I'm like at 25%. I started at 100. I'm telling you, this thing takes a lot of resources to run it. That's for sure.
Right.
But it's all good, my friend. Well, hey, look, Stephanie says BlackBerry Bold was for like straight up BlackBerry. Look, of all the Blackberries, other than the Pearl, I see you back there.
Yeah.
Other than the Pearl, are you trying to hide from me? Like, I see you. Like, there's a reflection. So, like, in front of me, there's a window right here. Look, I see you. You can't fully creep up on me. You're not even that silent.
I don't want everyone else to see me.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But no, I agree, by the way. BlackBerry Bold for life. It was pretty BA. It's still a classic in my book. That one will not soon be forgotten. But so let's do one of these a little bit later. I know we're about at where we said we wanted to end. Like we were like, okay, no more than 45 minutes of straight
There you go.
for real. Because like I don't know, you're pushing it over 30 minutes for sure. I mean, like who's going to stay on their phone that long? Exactly. Like it's just going like way out of, just way too long, guys. So we'll go ahead and cut it. But as always, Killian, I appreciate you, my friend. It's always good having you join me. Maybe somebody else at some other point.
Someone else needs to volunteer.
Yeah, it'd be good. And it's like I can have more than one person. It's not like it can only be one person at a time. Yeah, I think 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, we
4
can
or
have
5.
people call in and hang up, and call in and hang up.
Yeah, on Skype though. Real talk.
You have to download Skype before you log on, and then if you want to shout out from the audience, you just like put your name in the comments. Want to come in on this conversation, and we just Skype you and be done with it.
Yeah, straight up, I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Well, look, Killian, man, once again, appreciate it, my friend. I guess everybody should go get their rest because it is a work night. I know I got to get up pretty early, but look, I'm living that dad life right now. Like I'm looking at 9:38, and I'm like, oof, ready for that bed. Like you hit the double digits, and you're at 10 o'clock, 2200. You don't even know what's happening anymore. So yeah, maybe I should go brush my teeth and call it.
All right, thanks
Killian,
for having me.
Well, look, good seeing you guys. Until next time, honestly, I would love to do one if you got some time Wednesday. If people
I got time.
hops on through, maybe I'll throw out a little shout out of a few topics up there and see if anybody's down. But look, all right, Killian, man, look, have a good night, everybody, and I will talk to you later.